How are you here, Justin? How? We're late.
He's not here yet, but he will
Okay,
be.
good.
He will hear this later.
I would have been so
I built a
disappointed.
shovel out of Lego.
I mean, he works at Kroger. It's real boring.
Yeah.
Didn't Gabe quit that like a couple months ago?
Gabe quit there twice. Yeah.
Twice.
Gabe quit there twice.
I just realized it still says Quinn City episode 1.
Well, that's not accurate.
No, I mean it could be.
Might as well be.
1.5.
Oh, it changed. I got it in time before Stream Elements sent out the thing. Nice.
Deceit.
I mean, that is the name of the... Anyway, so yeah, once we last left off, we had met the characters, and there was a public hanging. I missed what you said there, Connor.
I said a guy was hanged.
Yeah. The
Then did a die.
For a while.
there was a cult leader that hung. His neck did not snap, so he dangled for a minute, but he did eventually stop moving. I don't know if I got that far into detail on that. Probably not.
No.
I'm not a very good or descriptive VM. I keep telling you guys. I don't know why you keep coming back.
My life sucks.
That's fair.
Because I need my fix.
Sometimes I can take a nap.
Connor's already ground up his PHB in like a fucking in a blender, and then like juiced the paper and just injected it straight into his body. So like, really, you're his last resort.
Thank you for following Haas. There's a bunch of numbers after that, but it looks like it says Haas.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Look at that. Probably that.
H0SS00312.
Yeah, if you're not a bot, type hi.
Time to Google them to see if they're another one.
Probably.
Capital H.
That's. I mean, mostly who follows me is bots, and then I have to get rid of them.
It's a big issue on the whole platform right now with all the
Double capital S.
hate raids and stuff.
I should really make you two moderators so
But
you can take care of
That
this
one
shit.
doesn't. The name doesn't immediately make me think of that. So
Right?
I didn't come up with anything when I googled.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome to the
Nice.
stream. We're
Yeah.
real. Well, it's something. This is something.
Thanks for not being like the last follower who was a hate bot.
It is appreciated.
All right. So before we get into the game, quick shout out to the AbTab group, obviously. Absolute Tabletop Official RPG group on Facebook.
Unless you're smart like me and not on Facebook.
Right. But if you're unlike Mikhail and you need people to play with, that's a good group to find very good people. It's where we found Connor, where we adopted him.
Adopted, kidnapped.
Also, you can check out Connor at Versatile.caster on the Ticks and the Talks. Are you doing anything on Twitch lately, Connor?
I haven't been.
I know.
Because
I know you've been playing a randomizer Nuzlocke, but you haven't been streaming it, and it's very
Yes.
upsetting.
Usually it's because I work at night and I don't want to disturb my mom during the day because she works about 20 feet from where I'd be streaming.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, maybe when you get back to school, yeah? Alright, do you have to go back to school? Speaking of which,
I start tomorrow, so I assume it's soon for Connor.
speaking of which, I believe congratulations are in order for Mr. Connor, who can officially teach grades, what was it, 4 through 8?
Yes,
Yeah. Passed all
When
his
you
tests.
graduate.
I'm certified for it. I need to graduate first.
Yeah.
And when do you graduate?
December?
Nice.
Well, we're all happy for you, Connor.
Thanks.
Then comes the crippling debt you gotta pay off, so there's that.
Nah, I can pay that shit off right now.
Excellent.
Benefits of being able to stay at home.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you want to, you can also follow me on TikTok at PostGothGaming. It's not good. It's not good. I am too old for TikTok, but I do it anyway.
And you wish you could follow me on TikTok, but I don't do that either.
You can still follow him on TikTok just to mess with him. Is it Huckleberry Kappa? It's probably Huckleberry Kappa.
No, I think it's Loki.
Oh, it is Loki. You liked one of my videos earlier. Or you viewed one of my videos earlier. That's what it was.
I don't post anything though.
Follow him anyway. Just make him the most
make me the most followed person for no good reason at all.
with
And then
no
I'll be super
with no
entitled
content
about it when I get interviewed. Be like, of course they did. I'm great. Like, why the fuck don't you recognize that piece of shit interviewer?
There's a couple people. They're just famous people that have put their names on there, so no one else will take it. Like no one else will claim their idea as them, and their
Honestly,
TikToks have blown the
understandable.
fuck up. Like Matt Mercer's one of them, man. Like he has no content on, and he would be so good on TikTok. He'd be so funny. We should stop talking about people that we have no affiliation with. Zach, looking at you, Zach. All right. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any affiliation with you, Zach.
All right. So that's the end of the stream forever because everyone hates me now. It's cool.
Bam! Got him.
Got him.
Okay. Had to go into a coma.
Also, I just watched. I highly advise seeing Free Guy. Well, it's still in theaters. That's pretty good.
Unless you haven't seen Suicide Squad yet, then see that one first.
No, not Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. See that one first.
Well, Suicide Squad's not in theaters, so you don't have to worry about them making that mistake.
That's a good point. Nom nom. Dude, I've never seen
That's-
King
that's
Shark
a
more
hint.
needing to be protected. Okay, he needs to stay pure forever. We love him.
The movie made me care about a man called the Polka Dot Man.
All right, we can talk about that. One last thing after the D&D stream, we'll hang out for a little while afterwards and do a new segment I'm gonna call Post Talk, which is gonna be kind of a random talking point podcast type deal. I'm gonna use to figure out how to post all these videos in podcast format. So
Bobby?
yeah,
No, out there in my room.
yeah.
Go.
Get the controller, Brandon. God, you're hiding controllers probably in your butt. Anyway, so yeah, we left right off at the hanging.
Where I found it.
Yep. Anyway, we left off right at the public hanging of a cult leader. The crowd kind of hangs out for a while until the body's cut down and taken out of public view. Obviously, this was a influential man to very dangerous people, and they do not want them claiming the body as a kind of trophy. So the guards begin pulling the body away. You do see Mason, who is your friend, is called within to the guardhouse, probably assigned as extra security. As the people disperse,
I used minor illusion to make it look like he has a pink bow on his back.
Why?
Because he's not here today.
Why not?
Fair.
okay. There's a pink bow momentarily on his back, and then he walks away, and it just kind of floats there.
That's fine.
Yeah. So now there's just a floating pink bow. It catches the
It has
attention.
his name on it.
It has caught the attention of several small children who are now jumping in the air trying to grab it.
Also fine.
They look very confused when the tallest one's hand goes through it. You've invented a new game. Alright. We will quickly swivel over to Patron.
Hello.
You woke up, you heard about the hanging because there was a town crier walking through the town, even in Porton. Would you have gone to the hanging?
I did.
Okay.
I did, and then I had my wildfire companion in the form of a snake slither around and say if there's any trouble to interfere with.
That's right. I remember you being there. Okay. Your snake has not detected any trouble.
Good.
However, while you're there, you are surrounded by... I'm debating on if this should be a whisper segment. Nah, we'll do that later.
It.
We'll do the whisper later.
Do it.
We'll do the whisper later, because I know what we're doing here. Kinda. You are surrounded by 3 goblins in fine suits.
Are any of them named Clive?
None of them are named Clive. One of them kind of elbows your knee because they're short. Says, "Hey, Dragonborn, you coming with us?"
Could I ask why?
"Because Mr. Bobbit has asked you to come with us."
Did you say Mr. Bobbit?
"Yes."
Do I know a Mr. Bobbit?
Roll history.
See, this is why I'm glad I didn't make myself an idiot this time. Woo.
Character share with class.
Unfortunately, I was an idiot because I didn't open my character sheet before the game.
What was it on the die, at least?
Alright, so that's going to be an 18 total.
All right. So you know the Bobbit is it's a crime family. Is the mob, and you have a flashback to a place you once burnt down, called the Bobbit Candy Store. You did this because you once heard that they were selling sweets out the back door.
I would definitely prefer to not go to a place without people.
Oh, don't you worry. There will be plenty of people there.
Are there going to be people in your pocket or just random people?
Yes and no. You're asking a lot of questions.
Do
Yes,
I notice
because I know
this
you are.
happening?
Roll perception. You are in a big crowd.
Well, I get advantage because bird. Bird.
Bird is also on my shoulders, we established last time.
Oh, so yeah. Through Bird, you'd be able to hear all of this.
Alright. What spells do I got? Keep going.
I'm asking many questions because I feel like I know what is in store for me.
Listen, I don't know a lot of what's going to happen. All I know is Booger wants to talk to you.
About?
How you can pay back the family.
The owl hacks a little bit and coughs up a ball of hair and bone on one of them.
The goblin picks it off of him, sticks it in his cheek like it's a tobacco pouch.
The owl vomits out another pellet. Even it's just absolutely horrified.
You can plainly see that I have no money.
The owl nods.
Listen, bub.
Lydia's coming up with a plan if necessary, but for now she's just kind of listening.
Lydia, huh?
Shit. I just ran you last night. I've spent a lot more time with that character.
And it's in a big city, so you know.
An even bigger city.
Yeah.
Almost 10 times the population. Actually, yeah, 10 times the population. Oh, okay. Yeah, Cecilia, They have the same fucking IA thing too.
That's funny.
Well, it's gonna be even worse when we meet my mother. You're gonna be the one who fucks that one up.
Alright, anyway.
Because that's just one letter difference.
Alright. Listen. They just want you to come with us. Come now, make a deal, sit down with, the boss, you move on with your day. We don't want to have trouble in the streets. The guards don't like it when we do that.
Is where we're going public?
Yeah. Yeah, it's public.
I would like to see if he's telling the truth about that.
Actually, roll me persuasion for him to tell you where you're going.
17.
Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Listen, buddy, we're gonna go to Barley's Barrel, okay? Very public, lots of people there. It's a bar.
Is it a private room off of the bar?
No, maybe.
Now that sounded suspicious as fuck.
You have to go with us to find out. Look, the other option is we leave you alone now, we come back later, but with lots of weapons and more people.
Well, since you tip your hand about that, I am going to assume that this time my life is not going to be in peril. Is that correct?
That is the assumption, yes.
Okay. I shall go with you.
Good. Very wise. You're very wise. So yeah.
I'm gonna do a sneaky follow.
Roll me stealth. At advantage, because, they're distracted.
16 plus 4 for a dirty 20.
Yeah, you're very well hidden. You're able to blend in with crowds.
My wizard has more typical rogue skills than my rogue did.
As we start to walk away, the snake slithers up to Patron. He holds his hand out to it, and as it goes up, it seems to wrap around his hand as it vanishes.
I will keep about, let me double check the range on something. I think it's like 100 feet. 20 feet. Keep about 100 feet away, so I'm still in control of the familiar, and so I can occasionally, like this time, message Patron.
Okay.
And just be like, are you okay with this?
I've already questioned them thoroughly.
Alright, I'll follow.
Okay. So they lead you down. If you look at the map.
See you guys later then.
You'll meet up with them in a minute. Don't you worry, bud. I already know where you're coming in. So if you will look at the map.
You're gonna come in the same way that a certain drow flies on C Team. Tentacle will just reach down from the sky and drag you there.
Literally just a tentacle from the sky. God, I love the C Team.
The way.
Thriss Traub.
I love that he just goes
Played by
completely
Chris
limp.
Traub.
I love that he goes completely limp like
They're
a sausage on a
apparently
string.
I might start listening again because they're apparently doing a new arc.
I'm gonna have to finish it up. Kill one. But alright.
It's called Retirement.
And now I'm sad.
How much you
You're
want to bet
welcome.
they don't actually retire?
Well, they're D&D characters. You never fully retire.
That's true. Alright, so you can look at the map if you want to. Connor, I believe you usually have it pulled up somewhere in the distance.
Yes.
But you can see the nightcap, which is just next to the East Village. Yeah, you guys travel straight south from there, down the main road. You hook, from your direction, you hook a right at the... Is it the Church of Lumen or the Temple of Lumen? It's the Church of Lumen. You hook it right, and you go straight down that road, all the way down past the museum and into Barley's Barrel. Once you get to Barley's Barrel, it looks like it used to be a nice tavern or bar of some sort, but it has become, like the rest of the Porton area, slowly become run down, worn out. The boards are kind of rotting on their hinges. There's barely any shutters left. Most of the windows are missing the glass. Once you go inside, this time of day, because it's early morning, there's only a couple of the usual bar flies in there, but there are people there. They didn't lie about that. But they're the kind of people that are usually sleeping on their table with their beard in their beer. And once you guys walk in, they point to a corner booth where you see a goblin on a booster seat. Just sitting at the table with his arms on the table, his hands folded. He's looking straight down into his drink.
I go over to that booth and I sit down across from the goblin.
What do you do? It takes him a minute to seem to realize that you're there. He looks up. Ah, you must be Patron. Yes?
That would be correct, yes.
You burnt down my family's candy store. Yes? We used to sell all the little treats to the little poor children for very, very little. Make people in this area happy. And you took that from them.
Also sold illicit substances out the back
This
to justify.
The owl hoots to emphasize Patron.
This is true, yes. But you had to keep the place running somehow. The place didn't exactly turn out a profit until we put side business in there, you know?
Well, I'm sure people would be happy to pay maybe a copper more if they weren't suffering from addiction every day.
Well, that's not our problem. Our problem is to make the money. But you have cost us a lot of money now.
Oh no, what a nightmare.
You're funny. You're a funny guy. I like you. I think you're funny. My father doesn't think you're funny, though.
Why didn't he come here and tell me that himself?
For his
When he
protection.
says that, I'm gonna cast message on him and attempting to sound a little bit like his own thoughts. Your father thinks you're a joke.
You're messaging the goblin?
Yeah, because I can see him through the owl, and I'm within 120 feet.
To clarify, are you doing it in Patron's voice or his
No.
own voice?
I am trying to copy the goblin's voice.
I need you to roll a performance check, please. And I'll let you use intelligence as the basis of it, actually.
Alrighty, that's not terrible.
It's gonna have to be high because you're not in the same room as him.
Yeah, that should help. 19.
Okay. As you do this, Patron, what's your passive perception?
Big 15.
Okay. You notice a slight flicker as he kind of looks down to his ear again and then back up. But he doesn't say anything. So here's what we're going to do. You are going to burn down a competitor's building. And then we call it square.
Competitor in candy business or competitor in sweet business?
He thumbs a finger at the bar.
I'm gonna message him again and say, "Come on, screw your father. Out with the old, in with the new."
Roll another performance.
Okay, not as good. Still okay. 15.
Okay. Patron, again with your high passive, you notice a little quirk at the corner of his mouth. Do we have
Just
deal?
some random person trying to do business legitimately. I'm not going to do it. If it's someone trying to sell what you do,
If it helps you, they are a legitimate competition. This bar is legitimate. It is also owned by us.
are they selling drugs?
Considering the people that run it, probably. I've never met a gnome who doesn't do drugs.
That was incredibly racist, my friend.
Hmm. Look at the way people look at goblins. You think I care much?
The owl is just glaring at him. Just giant owl eyes, full squinted, with the big old owl eyebrows, glaring the way only an owl can.
Let me put it this way. You have 24 hours to burn down a place called Sparkle and Bell. Or we come after you. And any friends that may try to help you. That is all. You might even get paid for it. If you do a good job. Have a good day.
As he gets up and is about to leave, I'm going to yell to him. How about you have your father tell me what he thinks of me to my face next time?
He grins. As I said, I like you, Patron. You have chutzpah.
You're not recruiting.
I wouldn't dare try.
Go tell your father to piss off.
Either way, see you soon, friend. And he kind of gestures his hand in a shooing motion. As he's finally shooing you off, Hayes, are you still there? Or are you sleeping again?
I'm awake.
Okay, good. Hayes, on your route, while walking through the upper port, the northern portion, I should say, you see Cecilia staring through a window.
I wave.
Cecilia, what is your passive? He might be dying on the other line right now.
He's asleep too.
Or he doesn't know he's muted.
I was consuming a taco.
Ah,
13.
13.
Now that can be taken two ways.
Not on this stream. Calm down. So yeah, you notice out of the corner of your eye, you see Hayes walking down with his. What exactly do you transport your cheese in? We never got. Is it like a cart you're pushing around?
It's just a hand cart. It's like
Okay.
one that a person can pull.
Okay, that's fair. I understand that. Yeah, you see him with this cart. As Patron starts walking out.
I'm saving money for a horse. A big
I'll
cart.
message Hayes and just say, this is you said Bobbit, right? Bobbit family.
Yep.
one of the Bobbitt family businesses. They're trying to convince Patron to burn down one of my family businesses.
I stop immediately.
And I'll just gesture at him to come over to me.
I leave my cart. Yeah, you're rich. You have a butler.
Because I'm probably like almost halfway across the street staring through just so I'm not immediately noticeable by them. Just my giant gnomish eyes boring through the window. And I can't even directly see them. There's like door and a wall in the way, but I'm looking the direction that Patron and my owl would be in.
Yeah, that's fair.
I doubt Patient's gonna do it.
No, but they're going to be a problem otherwise.
We can always ask. I forgot Gabe's character.
They threatened to and she just does the throat slit thing. Him if he doesn't. So I have a feeling we're gonna have to deal with this either way.
Worst comes to worst, I can hide him at my barn.
Well, I got plenty of places to hide him. But now I know they're trying to directly affect, you know, personal things of mine.
Some of the
So
bigger
they're
guys like
problematic
machines.
other way. And his patron out yet.
So, yeah. Patron, you walk out and you see Hayes with his cart talking to Cecilia across the street.
I go over to them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously know the situation.
I was filling in Hayes over here a little bit. And I will, now that both of you are here, I'll tell you, I was dicking with his head a little bit while you were in there. And I set the seeds of potentially him rebelling against his dear father. You know, a little bit of infighting could never hurt.
You just let them
Also, I told him
decide.
his father thinks he's a joke. I might have gotten a
That
little
part
rude.
is probably true.
It is probably true, which is why it was rude. A bit of a low blow, if you will. Though that's pretty typical coming from someone of my stature.
Oof.
So what exactly should we do about them trying to target your places?
It's, you know, it's my father's family's place. It's not directly mine, but I do have a fondness for it. And it does help supply money to better people than the Bobbits. And if it gets burned down, the merchants are gonna have to go to other bars. And let's be real, I look at both of them. Do we want to sit around nothing but merchants in every bar we go to? It's fine sometimes, but every day. Every day, my friends.
Are you confident that your father's family isn't building anything?
Uh,
That we should...
nothing so bad as, like, the sweets. I'm not confident that there's no criminality. I'm always on an eye out for those things.
As you
But
say
I'm
that,
confident that there's no disgusting criminality, if that's what you want to know.
as you guys are talking
Willing
about
to
that,
bet there's some business sabotage and other things going on. That's just how the world works. But
as you
I
talk
don't think there's anything of the druggy sort.
Yeah, as you talk
Okay,
about
go
the sweets, there's you can hear a moaning down the alleyway you're standing in front of. Pretty typical of this part of town.
Look down the alleyway so I can see who it is, and I'll message them in their head, and just in a neutral voice, just be like, "Get help! You don't need drugs. Go home. Rethink your life."
Literally a sweet tooth who's going through withdrawal.
Look at the others. They'll be fine. I'm happily optimistic as always.
Cecilia, you would
I-
recall that you have an appointment at 1 o'clock to meet
What the fuck? Why?
to meet at Harold's Brewery.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. So
Yeah.
I have an appointment later today, and also, Patron Hayes. I found some dirt in my place when I got home last night. You know, I prestidigitated it out. Didn't really think about it, but it wasn't dirt that I left there, so that's a little weird.
Is there anyone else that lives in your place?
No, it's pretty small.
Hmm.
You've been to her place before, and
Yeah.
you can see the top of the roof from the outside, just standing.
A cute little one-story thing.
Little gnome building. Yep.
About the size of a Toyota Tacoma.
Plenty for a gnome. It's like a shed. It's like a shed.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking shed, like a tiny cottage, but it's the size of a shed.
Hey, we have a place that sells sheds that are like that. They have like porches on them and everything. It's crazy. The weirdest thing.
Maybe they're gnomes.
Well, I do believe that would indicate that someone was in your place without your knowledge.
I kind of thought so this morning, but I was in a hurry because I had to go make sure nothing went down at the hanging. Then you got pulled away, so I haven't really had a chance to go look yet.
Would you like one of us to do it?
You're probably better at it. I have a meeting to go to. I just tossed Patron the keys. Catch you later. Feel free to go look if you want.
I will be sure to give it a gander.
Okay. Where are you gonna go, Hayes?
I'm gonna go finish my deliveries and go do those other shit I gotta do.
Okay.
Keep on the grind, friend. We'll see you later.
Let me know when you got a plan.
Cecilia just shakes her head a little bit as she walks away, mutters to herself, "Another victim of the hustle culture."
Me?
Yes, you.
Cecilia's such a millennial.
Wait, why is it hustle culture? Just to let me know when you have a plan.
But you just have a lot of jobs.
No, I have one job. It's just a lot of shit goes into this one job.
Yeah, sure, call it what you
Making
want.
cheese is not easy.
I've heard hustlers who say the same thing.
But making cheese is not easy. It's a time-consuming process.
Then how about you stop making cheese and you go get that bread?
Ugh.
Get, you get, if making cheddar isn't giving you cheddar, then what's the point?
I don't. Well, I do make cheddar. It's just all goat cheese stuff.
I just.
Right, but if it's not giving you the good cheddar, the coin cheddar,
Well, I'm also trying to make it affordable for people.
lies.
I just. Guys.
I volunteer to be here every week.
You put actual effort into getting us here and providing some adventures for us every week.
I put so much time into this for cheese jokes. Oh, I love you guys. Alright.
A little cheesy.
Too far.
Put your nose in a fucking corner.
Shame on you.
I will throw a spider on you.
That's rude. I consider that a hate crime.
We'll talk about that in post.
Specifically against me.
We're gonna talk about that in post talk. Don't you worry. All right. So yeah, actually, fuck you guys. The hanging was at sunrise. It's about 9 o'clock right now. So in reality, Cecilia and Patron, you wouldn't have to split up.
That's fair.
You have plenty of time. Yeah.
I thought it was later.
Because the hanging was at sunrise, if you recall. And sunrise, leading into winter, is about 7:30ish.
Why don't you
7,
make me wake up so early?
That's not early for me. That's late for Hayes. That's
I'll
pretty
kill
late.
you.
He says to the DM who's at work at 5 a.m. every day.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, it kind
I
of
sometimes
is.
don't get out of work till 7 in the morning.
Anyway. So what do?
Well, Patron is going to check on Cecilia's house. He's going
No,
to get there.
I'll
in
show
half,
him the place.
He's
Okay.
going to get there in half the time because of urgent things.
Right. So yeah.
And Cecilia will also get there in half the time because Patrick.
So yeah, you guys get there, and it's a nice,
I
tidy
never
little
knew
place.
that there was a shortcut under that house. So weird.
But
You're lucky that you can walk full stride in it. Patron
Yeah,
said,
it was quite
calling
nice, really. Felt like a real tunnel to me.
So yeah, it's a nice little tidy place. I think you described it last time, Mikhail.
Tidy, fairly Spartan, other than a small shelf of books and a fairly decent number of plants throughout the building that are decent health, but they're not like ultra thriving or anything. They're just a little bit better than like a normal person might be able to do. By 5% according to the D20.
So, which plant hit the clerk's village?
The dirt was over here, and then I prestidigitated it out that window. I was very drunk.
Alright, I will have a look around.
Roll me perception
I'll help him
with
by pointing
assistance.
the stuff out.
By the way, I like the humorous idea of you standing off in a corner pointing things out while this big dragonborn's kind of doing circles in your tiny house.
Honestly, Cecilia does too.
Also, I'm not very big.
What'd you roll?
18.
Okay. You notice that one of Cecilia's many flower pots is broken. Straight up the middle. Like there's a thin line as if someone mended it back together, but there's that chip in the paint that's still there.
Cecilia, do you have an extra pot?
Why do you ask?
This one seems to have a crack in it. I wanted to make sure that this plant would have somewhere to go so I could inspect it.
Oh, that's weird. I don't remember breaking that. Well, probably. Go look around for an extra pot. Oh yeah, here's one. This plant died a while back. Can't win them all.
There's like I imagine there's like a small pyramid of potted plants that have all turned brown and wilted.
Yeah, there's just like in the corner. There's like it's a stack of 3, just the smallest of pyramids.
Yep.
One's like a bean sprout plant too. That was my first try. I had a lot to learn at that point. Because even Mikkel in elementary school was able to get a bean sprout too.
I was gonna say, flash over to the orphanage where kids are learning to grow bean sprouts in like a wet paper towel.
You can't win them all.
Because we've all done that experiment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and some of us are still old enough to have done the raising. What do you call it? Oh fuck, I forgot their name. It's been so long since I've gotten to see them. The butterflies, the orange and black ones that migrate.
Monarch.
Monarchs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to raise them when I was in 2nd grade.
We did not do that.
We used to get a ton around here. Like when I was a kid, when they were like in the area, you couldn't walk down the street without accidentally stepping on one.
Ew. That's
I mean,
awful.
it was still cool to have that many butterflies, and now you don't really see them at all.
That's I used to deliver to a place called Gerdau Maxsteel where they have a dragonfly issue like that where you literally can't walk anywhere without crunching on them. They don't move either. They just sit there.
Wish.
Yeah. Anyway.
I will transfer the living plant into the dead plant's pot after vacating it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will inspect the pot that is now empty.
Okay. Yep, there's another line on the inside. Actually, while you transfer that pot, I need you to make me a nature check. Not something I thought we'd be doing in a city campaign, but here we are.
7.
Okay.
Listen, I told you.
Could
that
he
this druid
substitute
was
survival?
City.
Yeah, we could substitute it for survival if you wish. What would that be?
Ah, in that case, 9.
God fucking damn it. You're worse than my burglar.
So he just grabs it by the stalk and pulls the whole plant out and plops it into the other pot. Very little care goes into it. The thoughts are there, though.
And then I pour the dirt in.
Yep. On top of the plant. Cecilia, even you know that's not right. That's not how you do that.
She does a one of those inhale squeaks as he does, just like reaching out towards it, and it's too late.
Like when someone touches one of your collectibles.
Yeah, you're fucking. They open your Star Wars collectible from 1970s or some bullshit. And you're just.
Yeah. Instant panic.
I opened all my toys.
So yeah.
I never understood collecting. I was like, no, I bought this shit to fucking play with it.
I opened everything as a kid.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to fight my fucking Beanie Baby, and it's going to be dope.
Yep. I was that kid too. I mean, as an adult, I have a lot of collectibles in boxes now. Fuck you, Pop Funko. Or Funko Pops.
I still have a hard time. Like, if I get a collectible, I'm like, I'm still fucking opening and using this. Like, I have the collector's edition of, like, a few of my favorite movies in the series, like Avatar, Korra, The Labyrinth, and they're definitely all opened.
Alright, so yeah, again, on the inside of that pot, just another crack. That's about it.
Was there anything in the dirt as I was pouring it out?
Well, the plant roots that the plant left
I
behind
would
when he
assume
yanked
that
it
this
out.
is a window pot, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we can guesstimate that someone knocked it over coming in. I'm gonna look around and see if I can find anything missing or out of place. Since I haven't had time to mess with the place since I fell asleep last night.
Roll.
Because I went in, moved the dirt out, fell into bed, passed out, was woken up by the bitch, and then...
The bitch?
That's one of Cecilia's many names for her. Not the nicest, but it's one of them.
Roll either perception or investigation. I'll let you decide.
They're the same bonus.
I imagine that they didn't bring pottery clay in with, so I'm assuming that this was mended with magic.
Oh, damn, good roll. 21.
Nothing's missing, but you do notice, like, I imagine you have, like, a little stack of books somewhere.
It's funny because having my owl help me, the other dice was also an 18, so just both of us look at it at the same time. You see the owl's patron, you see the owl's wing point to it.
You notice that all of your belongings are just a little bit tidier than you normally keep them.
Too tidy, like military tidy, and not like clean tidy. Those are spaced just a little too perfectly apart from each other.
Like, the only time you've ever seen anything
I
this...
wouldn't take the time to do that. I would put it next to it, but I wouldn't measure it with a stick.
The only time you've ever seen anything this tidy is when you're, like, at the main house or something.
You know, and the servants, you know, their whole lives are about that.
Right.
Some of them.
So someone came into your house to make it slightly more clean?
No, that's weird. And the only person who I feel like would maybe tidy it further is my mentor, but she probably wouldn't have knocked over a pot coming in. She did train me in a few of my more select skills. You know, the ones I couldn't learn with a extra class or two at the university. When I had time.
Around this time...
I feel like that's where I picked up my, my very few non-illusion spells.
Around this time, you hear a knock at the door and a metallic click as your letterbox that's like bolted to the wall next to your door clicks shut.
I catch it. I'll just send my mage hand over while we're talking.
As you do, your mage hand opens the door, pops open the letterbox, pulls out a letter, brings it back in. You do notice that it has the Stein seal on it.
That mage hand picks up my letter opener, opens up the letter.
Okay.
I'm just kind of holding it absent-mindedly while I'm looking at my stuff. Then I'll read it.
In very official-looking writing, very pretty golden script, it says...
So ostentatious.
It says 2:30 main house.
Why so many meetings?
You may bring your friend patron. Patron.
That's uncomfortable. Patron, you're invited. Don't know why they know you're here. That's weird, but you're invited.
That is very strange. I don't know how they know me.
I mean, someone might have noticed us from across the garden, I suppose.
Yes, but how do they know me by name?
Oh, you did burn down that shop.
Yes, there was a bit of arson.
And
It's just a...
the gnomish family is, frankly, they're all about business, and nothing is more important in business than information.
Oh, this is a meeting with... Oh, okay. I thought it was meeting for college.
Oh yeah, I point out the Fickelstein still and all the gold writing. Normal people can't afford that. I certainly can't.
Well, yes, that's why I thought college, because colleges tend to make lots of money.
Oh no, I've never been a full-time student there. I just I've done a supplementary class every once in a while.
Oh,
Most of my learning came from a private tutor.
Okay.
So are we going there now?
No, that's after my other meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, Cecilia's having a fucking busy day.
She's already irritated about it.
Like, try and the people that I'm close to. So, would you like me to just wait outside somewhere?
I mean, my other meeting is at where's it at?
So is that Harold's Brewery?
It's at a brewery. I'm sure you'll be fine there.
Their
You might have
debut.
to stand outside the door or something if it's something a little more secretive.
They're
But-
they're debuting their new recipe, and your family suspects that they have stolen your family's recipe.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Feel free to come by. It might get a little hasty.
Okay.
Okay.
And I suppose we could just hang out there until it's time to move on over to the meeting.
How long would it take from that brewery to where we're going?
So that back to the house. About hour walk, something like that. There's
Factoring in urgent things.
no, that was not factoring urgent things.
So like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. You guys move real fast through the fucking city.
Oh, and all right, that's fair. So we probably have plenty of time. You know what? How about this, Patron? We can stop by, have a quick early lunch at a brunch at the I'll pay for it, Spark and Bells, and I can inform the place that we should probably up the mercenary count for a little while. You know, a few more bouncers of a little more select skills. You know, potentially hire someone from the Elven family. I don't know.
You would know that the human family.
Would be a good idea.
So you would know that the Hawthorne family make their money in being bodyguards and running security.
Right. Okay.
That the Hawthorne family is the human family. well, human slash half elf now.
The tall people, they all look the same.
Now who's racist?
The tall people. Look at them with their 10-foot tall dwarves, making us feel so small and insignificant.
All their doors sit at the standard 7 foot.
That's still so big. It's so big to fucking Sicily. So yeah, we could stop by there and inform them that the Bobbits have it out and are planning on trying to burn the place down, yada yada.
Yeah, Spark & Bell is even
And
like on your way out of your little cul-de-sac
because
neighborhood.
it is primary and because it is not a place of stay, it is an eating and drinking establishment. The brunch will be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like a wonderful idea. We should also make sure that we have the rest of whatever your father's family owns in part.
Oh, they'll get that through the Sparkin' Bells.
So yeah, you guys head on your way back to up to Sparkin' Bells. You do see there's like a little sign outside with chalk writing on it. It says, "Run our breakfast of the day: eggs Benedict and lean ham."
Not a bad option.
Yeah, it's very pleasant.
Our cook does a great hollandaise sauce. No splitting or anything.
Yep, it's.
That sounds lovely.
Does Patron know what hollandaise sauce is?
Good question. I'm not gonna answer it.
He knows it sounds like a sauce, which is already a luxury.
Yeah.
You eat extra food diluted down into a liquid state to enhance other food? What decadence!
Just wait until he finds out about ketchup.
That'll kill him. If you take all these vegetables and fruits and you just mix them with a shit ton of brown sugar and vinegar, and no matter which style it is, it tastes the same.
That's exactly
Why?
what ketchup is.
Why? No, one of the food channels I like on YouTube. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he just eats vegetables, like different vegetables and fruits, mostly fruits. I think it's fruits from all around the world, like weird fruits. I think it's just a weird fruit guy, but yeah, he has a segment in a lot of his videos called "Does It Ketchup?" And even the fruits that aren't particularly good typically can ketchup.
Yep, it's pretty versatile.
Diecaster.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Anyway, to brunch.
Yeah, so you guys enjoy a nice brunch, and while you enjoy brunch, Hayes.
Fights a cheese monster
Yeah.
known as the Curdling.
Ah, my old nemesis, the Kirby.
So, you were there the previous night for the Sweet Eaters showing up.
Yeah.
One of them is approaching you in the daylight. Now, they don't usually move around during the day because the bright light hurts their eyes. But he says,
Dagger at the ready, you know. Just like in my coat, and then just like in my jacket sleeve.
hey, no need for that. Just need to know if you have any extra cheese. Yeah,
If you're hungry, that I can help with.
yeah, just some extra cheese.
Not a problem with that. I usually give away. I usually give my portion away. I usually keep for myself anyway. Peyton's not around. I usually give to him.
You're such a good friend to that guy. What was his name? Patron? Patrick? Yeah, great guy, nice guy. Yeah. He starts licking his teeth.
He's cheese. Have a nice day now.
Yeah, you too. What was his name again? Patron. Right. Yeah. He kind of wanders back into back into the alleyway and through a back door into an abandoned house.
Why, God damn it, you're the worst. When Patron gets shanked, this is your fault.
I mean, I doubt he'll remember next day.
That's fair.
Not patron, the drug addict.
I mean, either way. We're level 2. I doubt he will remember the next day.
Alright.
So get off my seat.
The rest of your route is pretty boring, to be honest. Make your deliveries, you take the money. You make about 8 silver in tips.
Nice.
Yeah, not a terrible day. Not the best day. The best day.
It's going fun.
The best days are when you get to go up in East Village for your deliveries and you get gold for tips. Doesn't happen often, but every once in a while.
I either buy more stuff I either buy better accommodations for the people who work for me, or I spend the money in the horse fund.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like part of why he gets to go up every once in a while is so often he's sold as a special cheese at Spark and Bell's.
Yep.
Little thing I was able to help deal through.
And that's about the time that, Spark and Bells get to serve creme brulee.
That sounds so good right now.
It does. I don't know why I said it out loud.
Like, why would you do that? You know how many eggs I would have to butcher just for their yolks? All of them. All my eggs.
But then you can cook, you still cook the whites on the side, I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sandwiches or whatever, but it's not the same.
Okay, sorry. My dog was barking. I was barking at. What happened?
Nothing. You had a fairly boring rest of your journey. You end up back home. A couple of guys there are playing cards.
How much is a horse?
A lot.
Well, it depends on the horse.
Like there's just
A
like
draft
carrier.
horse is cheaper than a work horse, is cheaper than a war horse, is cheaper than the amazing Mr. Ed.
I just need a workhorse.
Who is
So
a
on the
horse,
board.
of course, unless, of course, that amazing horse is...
I believe the standard price is around 100 gold.
For a
I think
workhorse?
it's... I think riding is 65, which is still more than any of us probably have right now. A war horse is like 300.
I need a workhorse.
Yeah.
Workhorse, I think, is 50. But I think you can get a donkey. I think you can get a donkey for like 20 or 25.
Yeah.
Donkey.
Donkeys would be fairly cheap, yeah. You would have to get one brought here, though. Wouldn't be a big deal. Be like an extra...
Google it.
I work better in the mountains than a normal horse would.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You could also
Well,
get...
depending on the breed, certain breeds of horses are extremely sure-footed in the mountains.
you could also use You could also use
pony horse.
a large goat, even around here.
Well, I have the goat farm, so.
Yeah, a goat could pull a small cart.
Nice, that's even cheaper. A donkey or a mule are 8 GP.
Yep.
A draft horse is 50. A riding horse is 75. Oh, did he just post them too?
Yep, Connor just posted
Just
it.
the mules. Nice.
We'll say with inflation, about 10 gold. If you wanted a donkey delivered, it would cost a total of about 15, 20 gold. We'll say 18.
That's nice that they're only 8 GP. A decent farmer could have enough donkeys to prevent predators.
Yeah. Get a little herd going, it'll keep predators away.
Fun fact for all listeners, one of the most effective deterrents against wolves and coyotes and foxes, donkeys. They fuck them up.
Yeah, they're
So hard. Donkeys don't give a shit. And they
Got
win.
10 gold.
or
Like one donkey against one wolf, that wolf is fucked.
or one brave barn cat.
I mean, I got the giant dog at home that takes care of the goats.
But not in the same way as a donkey.
I'm just saying, I've never seen a cat back down from a fight, and I have seen them scare off crocodiles and alligators.
And one of the better parts about it is studies show that the reasons donkeys are so good at kicking the shit out of those animals is they have an enhanced self-preservation drive, which is also why they don't listen to humans as well. Because they're like, nah, man, that sounds dangerous. I'm gonna do what I want.
Well, cat mice from the cheese.
Yeah, you probably definitely keep cats around. It's a farm. Every farm has cats for a reason.
A minimum
Yeah.
of at least 7.
Because they're very good at killing rats.
Yep, they are great for
And-
preserving your crop.
causing
And the talented ones can kill crows.
Hmm.
Luckily, I don't have any kind of like vegetable for growing. It's just milk.
A vulture will fuck up a cat, though. I'm just saying. I've seen it. It's
Well, yeah,
awful.
vultures are huge.
Yeah, they're awful. We have what's it called? What's a group of vultures called?
I think the biggest bird in the world is a species of vulture, in the Andes or something like that.
We've got those vultures that look more like hawks at work, and they eat all the smaller birds. Like, we have no pigeons now or seagulls anymore because they killed them all. Anyway,
We don't have pigeons, period, because I'm on the west side of America.
Mikhail,
And you don't have
would you like
pigeons
to
here.
amend
We
your
have rock
statement?
doves. Amend my
Would you like
statement
to
about what?
The biggest
At the end of the
bird
day,
in the
or
world.
tomorrow's when I probably go buy a donkey.
biggest bird in the world is an albatross, right? Right,
The
Connor?
biggest bird in the world is an ostrich.
I mean the biggest flying bird, you asshole. Nobody cares about emus and ostriches and cassowaries. They are fucking dinosaurs. That is what those are. They're not
The biggest
birds.
flying
They are
bird
dinosaurs.
I mean, technically, all birds are dinosaurs. All right, we're way off track though. We can do this
biggest
in
flying
post
bird is
talk.
an albatross.
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're so big. Fucking 6-foot wingspan and shit. All right.
Their wingspan is a 1 me long.
Isn't there evidence of giant eagles used to exist like a million years ago?
Less than 1 million years ago, there were giant eagles that lived in New Zealand that were big enough to carry away children about 5,000 years ago. Or even
also
less.
lots of
They were
iguanas.
hunted to extinction by the Maori people.
I can understand. I don't want a bird hunt taking my child as well. I fully get it.
Anyway, back
Go
to the
play
game.
outside, kid. Well, that's
Again,
another one gone.
we can do this in post talk. That's why I've set that up.
Back
Sorry.
to the gay.
All right.
One last bit, they had a wingspan of 2 to 3 meters. They're called Haast's eagles.
Jesus fuck. Hey, guy named Haas just is the one that followed today. It's probably a bot because it has not registered as a follower.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right.
And they had an estimated weight of 33 pounds.
So, what do you do after work, Hayes? It's an early day. You're done about 1 o'clock.
Well, I'm go through my savings, see all I got, and if I have enough, I'm gonna go get a mule. I have 10 gold and 8 silver.
Well, you only need 8 for a mule.
There we go.
With the inflation of needing it to be brought in, it was 10.
And then delivery from, because it has to
I
be
mean, I
brought
feel
up.
like a decent amount of people use mules in town.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Especially with a mountainous area.
Because you are fairly isolated, because you are in a mountain town, and it is not modern. I mean, it's more modern than most D&D games, but it's not modern time. There is a bit of an inflated price on work mules. They will cost 12 gold. You're able to ask around a little bit about it. Oh yeah, that's the cheapest you can find one for, and it's not a bad animal. It's just they cost a little.
Maybe a few more weeks.
There you go.
There are no bad animals, just bad trainers.
Have
I
you
don't know. Ryan's be very aggressive.
have you met a badger
Honey badger.
or
Honey badger.
or a wolverine?
Any of that family.
Listen, those are very good animals. They just do
Or
very,
hippos?
very vicious things. Hippos are the only
Hippos?
exception.
They kill their own young.
Most animals kill their own young.
Hippos kill people on sight. Elephants will fucking throw a baby elephant, okay, when they're angry.
I had a neighbor that raised rabbits, and they ate the entirety of one of their broods.
Anyway, this is more
It was
post talk stuff.
horrifying.
This is more post talk talk. All right. So yeah, you ask around for a bit about the mule. It brings us with you to about 1:30ish. So we'll flash back over to Cecilia and Patron.
Flashback to Cecilia. That's all I got. I'm not a bard this time.
I've recently become a bard in my home game, and I haven't got to do any singing yet. I'm sad.
Good.
How dare.
It's gonna be so awful. Everyone's gonna hate me. Anyway.
Same.
I'm a werewolf.
So you're gonna die.
We'll talk about that in post talk.
Great.
Yeah, I
Well-
definitely want to talk about that because post talk definitely. We're talking about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in post talk. All right. So yeah, you guys have made your way to Harold's Brewery, where they are showcasing. They have cracked open a literally a giant barrel of this new ale. It comes out kind of a rust red color. Not too far off of like ales of the time, because tannins leak into it. And they just start passing out glasses to everyone that came. Harold himself stands up on a box above everyone. Anyway, this is our new drink of the winter. A very special brew we've been working on for about a year. Cheers. And everyone begins
I
drinking
want to
it.
look for who looks like the most influential person in the room and prestidigitate theirs to taste like garbage.
So, let's think.
Is it Harold?
Harold is up there, but I'm assuming you don't mean Harold.
No, it needs to be someone who could be like, this is swill, and even people who thought like, oh yeah, this is pretty good, to be like, oh, maybe it's just bad, and I'm
So,
bad.
we'll say,
you know, internet culture.
not only is she the most influential person in this room, she's one of the most influential people in this city. You see Eldith Stormhammer, who is the head of the Dwarven family.
I apologize inwardly, but I still do it.
So as everyone's drinking, you see people are genuinely enjoying it. It's an excellent drink. But you watch as she drinks this, she makes that face. You know the face. You know the face.
Wrinkled nose, the stretched out mouth,
Like, imagine, if you will,
the eyes.
someone that drinks a glass of milk that has not realized that it's turned because it doesn't show any signs of turning. So you find out way too late.
I've got the best example of that. We once had 2 jugs of milk in my house, and I poured some into my cereal in the morning, and I'm like, oh god, it's bad. So get rid of all that, clean out the bowl, new bowl of cereal, pull out the other jug, also bad.
Yep.
So I got double dosed with it because it wasn't bad enough to smell, but it was bad enough that you got that really...
So you know exactly what I'm
It's
talking about.
kind
then.
of that funky, cheesy taste,
Yep.
but in a bad way. Like, it's not prepped correctly.
Yep.
I
This sounds like
once
a bad
made
day.
a full bowl of cookies that I had dunked in milk, and then I was going to drink the milk at the end. It tasted spicy.
Oof. All right.
Not good.
I did this to myself. All right.
The only things that should be spicy are peppers, hot sauce, and McDonald's Sprite.
Dude, why is McDonald's Sprite so spicy yet so fucking good?
It just hits different.
Anyway, we gotta get back on focus here. So, yeah, she is making an awful face. She says, something is wrong with this. If there's any time to bring out a fucking Scottish brogue for a dwarf, it's now, and I can't do one.
Just send it to someone.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna say me because I think my that's awful.
Jesus Christ.
I peaked my mic coughing.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
It was awful. Alright. But yeah, she's...
She had
As awful as this dwarf's
I'm honestly
experience
not
is.
great at Scottish either. My Scottish is incredibly cartoonish.
She drinks it, she takes a sip, makes the face, this is disgusting. And
Cat, that is my dice tray.
and
Good
she,
job.
in front of everyone, tips the glass and pours it out. Now, her
When she
immediate...
does this at the surprise of other... Can I quickly kind of grab a glass out of someone else's hand to sip it?
You were handed a glass, but yeah, you could do
Oh,
that.
okay. I'll sip the one that I was handed. Does it taste like it's a copy?
uh, what should I have you roll to recognize a taste? Would that be a history check? That'd be a history check, right?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's say history.
It's drawing on knowledge of something that happened in the past, which is kind of the definition of history.
As you're doing that,
Uh-huh.
Eldith Stormhammer and her immediate crowd follow her.
Terrible. 12 plus 3 for 15.
All right. Lady Stormhammer walks out with her immediate crowd, while many lookers on are confused because you all know it tastes good, but they have their loyalty. They have to do what she says, etc., etc. Of course, Harold looks taken aback, and you with the 15. It's definitely a very close copy. You can't say with all certainty that it's an exact copy. You don't feel that it's a complete rip-off of it, but it's suspiciously close.
So out loud, I'll just be like, unfortunately, it's just a failed imitation of Sparkin' Bells, and I'll say the brew. So if you want something better than Swill, feel free to stop by there. Damn shame. I was excited for this one, Harold. And I'll walk out.
Roll general charisma as you do this.
That's cocked. 13?
Okay. There's definitely some murmuring starting to ripple through the crowd. As you're busy trying to figure out what went wrong, what that missing taste is, you're like, blackberry. Just a thought in the back of your head.
I'm like, blackberry. Honestly, not a terrible idea for a spring venue. Put it in the back of my mind to mention to Daddy.
I'm probably bumping the Lady Stormhammer Moy in.
So after that, do you guys immediately head to the main house? Do you go out and try to find Hayes, or what do you guys do? Because you'll be getting out of there
Hayes
around.
usually finishes around now, so we could try and see if he's nearby.
Hayes, we'll say you're probably on your way to your guys' favorite meeting up spot, the way in.
Yeah.
You guys probably pass by Hayes as he looks kind of sullen, looking into his coin purse.
Hello, Hayes.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much, just ruined the release of a new brew. How about yourself?
You
Oh,
look
that's
sad
good.
about
They were
money.
dropping price. I can grab myself a bottle.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna go down in price. I reflavored the dwarven. Was it a patriarch or matriarch?
Could be a matriarch.
The dwarven matriarch's cup.
You can hear her down the road in her loud dwarven voice complaining very loudly how it tasted like vomit.
You're gonna get in trouble one day. You know that, right?
Probably.
When you do, let me know.
I'll be fine.
Oh no, so I can watch.
Oh, fuck yourself.
If she gets in trouble, I can make this direction. It's happened a couple times.
We trade positions on that job.
Where's Maze?
He got pulled off this morning and looked for like something important, probably related to the hanged man. Maybe
Have you
he's.
taken his body down yet? Or is it still there?
No, they definitely took it down. They had to get rid of it so it wasn't picked by the cultists.
Yeah, made it too simple.
Fair enough.
Honestly, they're probably using his death as a symbol anyway, but it helps to have the body so that they can't make that into a effigy, memorial, whatever that word is.
Unless, of course,
Right?
he wasn't lying and he comes back.
Well, if that happens, then he's fucked up.
If that happens, then the city is probably screwed. I don't know. I make cheese.
don't you have to predict the cheese?
Listen here. Don't get here.
We have time for a quick one before my next meeting. Unfortunately, I don't know if you were invited to that one, but I might be able to finagle your way in. I don't know.
Depends. What family is it?
The gnomes. I just gestured to myself.
Maybe I'll just get in.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have much intersection with them outside of when you sell your cheese at Sparkenbills.
True. Worth a shot, though.
I mean, if someone wealthy likes your cheese, that's a good step.
Zach,
Yes?
do I roll to see if the wealthy like my cheese?
Roll for cheese.
Cheese roll.
Yeah, so roll.
There are
2d6
moments.
Roll 2d6 plus cheese, Brandon.
There are moments as a DM where you have to fucking make up rules.
Yes.
And rolling for cheese is becoming so common in D&D streams, it's ridiculous. You'd think that'd be an agreed upon rule by now.
No, 6th edition. It's gonna have the cheese chart.
It fucking needs to.
Easy
It needs
cheeses.
to be a thing.
It'll
Just-
be easy cheeses like mozzarella at the very bottom because anyone can make mozzarella.
Let's say, because it's what I base my cooking on, roll performance, I guess?
Oof.
Can he use wisdom?
Yeah. We'll let you roll wisdom. We'll let
Okay,
you.
thank God.
Can he use anything other than charisma?
We'll say
Poor guy.
for you, cheese is wisdom plus proficiency.
Okay.
Because you're
You were
proficient in cheese.
proficient in cheese. Like you could have had a brewer's kit, but what you have is a cheese maker's kit.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Dirty 20.
Nice.
It's a nice
18
cheese.
plus 2.
Your cheese is famous in the town, in the city.
And
Wow, you
so-
think
Like,
he'd have more
I-
than 10 gold on his person?
Every
Yeah,
time,
you should-
every
well,
time,
the problem is that he's a really bad business person.
every time you sell cheese to Sparkle and Belt, they put out a sign: "Cheese made for this product, sold by," and then it gives your company name.
Oh, sweet.
It better be better than Papa John's, who has, and I quote, made with real mozzarella cheese.
Or Little
You know,
Caesar.
they only need to have like I think 83% of the mixture be mozzarella for it to be called that, or something like that.
Or better than Velveeta with made with dairy-like product.
I mean, Velveeta has its
What is
place
dairy like?
as it's
It's
Velveeta's
plastic.
what you use for nachos. You
Vel-
use it to make nachos.
Velveeta is plastic, and I will go on record saying that it's disgusting. It's my least favorite cheese.
It's every single nacho cheese anyone in the audience has ever had.
That's not true. There's also queso, which is white cheese, which is way better.
I make my
And
own
most
nacho
people
cheese.
haven't had that.
That's true. You get.
This is America.
All right. As
Nacho cheese is yellow.
an actual
Hard.
trained, I can't call myself a chef anymore, but I used to be. Do queso nachos instead of regular yellow cheese nachos. It's so much fucking better.
And
Hey.
I just like that yellow cheese.
Sorry, that's more post talk shit, and this one's my fault. All right. So yeah, about you guys stop by at the way in. You have a quick drink. Of course, it's a drink and a meal is the standard for 3 silver apiece.
At some point, we're going to have to make a Shaun of the Dead joke.
You know, probably.
Yeah.
And you
You
guys,
guys don't anything but ever go out to the bar. Like, yeah, it's the bar.
Stop by the way in for a pint. Save the world.
it's gonna happen eventually. Don't worry.
Stop for a point. Join the cult. Wait, what?
No,
No, not that.
no cultists.
So
That's Gabe's
we
job.
make our own cult. We
as
make
you
our own.
guys step out of the way in after your drink, you take an immediate right and you head up the village road. You pass by the little cluster on the right hand side, which is, of course, Cecilia's house is back there somewhere. And then the first big house on the right is, in fact, the Stein Manor. It's the only house that has an actual, like, you know, the spinabout cobblestone driveway with the fountain in the center and out in front of the house.
Ah, the I'm rich
That
and we
kind
need to
of
know.
thing.
So what's fun about the Fickelstein house is it's a lot of smaller houses that are kind of squished together and stacked on top of each other, and it looks very cobbled together, yet somehow gives off an ostentatious vibe. It's it's a
It's
pa-
really too much. I know.
it's a
I apologize to them.
it's an elegant patchwork Frankenstein monster of a house.
As we pass the fountain,
Frankly, I'm glad I didn't grow up in a building like that.
As you pass by the fountain, there are koi inside the fountain.
as we pass the fountain, Patron like cups his hand and drinks some of the water from it.
It
Uh,
tastes like
Cecilia,
fish.
Cecilia says hello to the koi real quick because she can talk to small animals.
My
She's
friends are weird.
and koi live for a decent amount of time, just like goldfish. Like they could live for a really long time, so they've probably got a little bit of rapport going on. Just like, oh,
Yeah.
how are you doing, koi?
Koi can easily be, I think, 15 to 20 years old, something like that. They can get quite old for fish.
My friends are weird.
Yeah, I was traumatized.
I need something to come from the amount of science classes I took since I'm not getting a science degree.
I mean, fair.
And if it's knowing that koi live for a long time, so fucking be it.
I'm just in the fish keeping hobby.
Yeah, he's just a fish nerd.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of
I,
aquarium.
I would say I'm a shark nerd, but other fishes, not so much. And then I
I'll see
also like,
something a lot of
I like a lot of marine mammals, but that's different than fish.
I like a lot of marine life, period. I wanted to be a marine
I build a lot
biologist,
of pumpkin waterfalls,
but I had a
so-
child instead, so I did that. All
Well,
right.
if you throw them in the ocean, you could get your dream back.
Oh my god. I don't know if you know this, but kids don't turn into mermaids when you throw them in the water. I've tried.
What they might do is pretend to have a face-off with the smoky rhinoceros from that old James and the Giant Peach.
Oh my god.
I love that movie.
Every time I hear the
It's
word
honestly
rhinoceros,
so
that's all I can think about. Anyway, sorry. No, that's post-thought. We're getting close to the end here, guys.
No.
So, you guys are welcome through the front door. You do have a tall person sized door. It is 7 foot tall,
I sigh.
but it's one of those weird doors that have two handles. The smaller handle is for gnome sized people,
Right.
but the person in the front is a human who works for the family.
I just imagine it's similar to the doors to Killowa's Manor, just wood and not these giant fucking
and-
iron behemoths.
In fact, Cecilia, you would probably know that the doorman's name is where'd it go? Gregory.
Oh, hey, Greg.
He nods. Mom. He opens the door for you and your
Me and
friends.
Patron were invited, and I figured they'd be interested in the Cheese Man. You've heard of the Cheese Man, haven't you?
He looks at the cheese man. Indeed. He opens the door for you. Lord Ren is waiting for you.
Thank you.
Alright, this might be a little rough, you two. I apologize.
We're going to see a lord. You didn't tell me. I would have dressed up for the occasion.
I prestidigitate the dirt off. You're fine.
Well, I look at it, can get me too.
You're wearing darks, you're fine.
As your friends walk through first, Greg says, "Ma'am, this smoking room."
Wait, we have to go to the smoking room?
Yes.
Fine.
But I don't smoke.
I don't either.
So as you guys walk through, you know where the smoking room is, even if you don't smoke. What it is, you can follow the smell. I don't know if you've ever been in a house with a smoking room, but it's very obvious which room it is, even with the door closed. The floor will start to yellow underneath the
Cecilia
door.
just pulls out her smoking room fan. You can see it's a little stain from her having to use it in there, and summons her mage hand, which will get ready to start blowing the smoke away from her.
So as you guys walk in, it is the fourth door on the left. You crack it open. There's not a lot to this room. There's a large open window on the far wall. There is a chimney. There's many chimneys in this house. There's so many fireplaces. It's ridiculous. As I said, it's many houses stacked together, so they kind of got cobbled together. But yeah, you see 2 of the chairs have been moved. They're these big red high back winged chairs. You know the ones you've seen movies. It's very, very stereotypical. In one, you see we said he's roughly middle age. He's 80 something, 80, 90 something years old. So he's roughly middle age for a gnome.
Not even. Gnomes live to like
Oh, he is.
50 to 500.
He is fairly young. It was his dad that was middle aged. That's what it was.
Are you sure that wasn't the goblin?
No, it was not the goblin.
85-year-old goblin that's called dead.
Right. But yeah, his hair is already starting to turn gray as he lives a stressful life at the moment. He's got a big old fat cigar. He's talking to a tiefling man who is dressed in very dapper suits, long curling red horns. His hair is in fact snow white. You would know that he is 50, early 60s, something like that. So yes, these people are Ren, Pickle, Stein, and Arlen Peros, head of the Tiefling family. Now, Cecilia, because you know who all the heads of the families are, you know that Arlen is not like the rest of his family. The rest of his family, they like to play in the dirt. They are literal tree huggers. They grow the largest... There's 3 big gardens in the city, and they are in charge of all of them, including one that's right outside your house. They are very druidic in nature, but he is not. He is very much an industrialist. He's a businessman. He loves his family, but he wants nothing to do with the shit they do.
Sir?
He just nods his head. And then Ren turns. What's up, John? Sorry, I have a friend just...
He says, "What's up, John?"
No, that's just gonna...
But it's
One of the guards leans into the room. Oh, hi, boss.
So Ren says, Cecilia, you brought your friend Pedro.
The cheese man.
The cheese
I'll
man.
do a minor illusion to do little tiny fireworks above his head.
I'm here to bring my mozzarella that I ordered a week ago that still has not arrived. Take that as a no.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Are you there to deliver his mozzarella that he ordered a week ago and still hasn't arrived?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It's in the cart. It's actually in the cart.
Why would you leave it in the cart?
Look, I deliver a lot of cheese. Orders get mixed up.
Well, as soon
There's
as
a
you
reason I
will.
haven't gone to the Stormhammer house yet.
He looks at Arlen, says, Arbella makes, and you would know Arbella to be the house cook, makes this wonderful thing. She cuts the cheese into blocks, rolls them in some breadcrumbs, and fries it. It's delicious.
That does sound amazing.
Little
But I
tomato
would
sauce on it.
definitely use cheese. There's a reason I haven't gone to the Stormhammer's house in a while.
You don't want to miss their cheese delivery. Lady Stormhammer is... And before he can finish the sentence, Arlen, wrathful, very mean.
Anyway, what is it that you want?
Yeah, I'll look at the guy who's be like, perhaps you meant a particular woman.
No, I mean Lady Stormhammer. No fear in his
No,
eyes.
I mean she is a particular kind of woman.
She's a scary short creature.
In polite conversation.
I said what I said.
said what you would have said.
He's got a very, you can tell her I said that look on his face too. Almost a dare. But
I'm not gonna tell her that.
Please tell me she has a Napoleon complex.
so when Ren stops laughing,
Why would she have the Napoleon complex? Halflings and gnomes live in this city.
I know, but I want her to have them because it's funny.
she's not
She's king of midgets.
I know, but I still think it'd be funny.
she's the median height. Alright, so
So are you, nonetheless.
Ren says, Cecilia, jeez, man, you may need to step out for a minute.
Wait, what?
The cheese
Go
man.
take this
Oh,
as
yeah.
a moment to go get that out of your cart.
Yes,
Yeah,
take
I'm
it.
gonna go get it on the cart.
I
Take
thought
it
you
right to the
really
kitchen.
didn't want to leave. I was very concerned for a moment.
No. I invited you. Cecilia might need a second on this mission. Paros, you can stay as well. The tiefling nods. One of the servants closes the door. His name's John now, because that happened.
I asked where the kitchen is with the cheese, since I had the cheese in hand.
You're taking it back out to your cart. You grab
On his
cheese.
way out, just bye, boss. John seems like a very affable fellow.
He's very attentive. Anyway. So I have a very particular mission for you, Cecilia. There is a small group being developed inside the guard unit who needs specialists. They will be hunting down
Guards.
Yes, Cecilia. We will be working with the guards very closely on this one. The Mayhews are old friends.
That I'm fine with.
Now,
The Mayhews. Rest of the guards, I don't know. The Mayhews.
obviously there was the cultist hanging this morning. They're developing a task force to take down the cult. Our job is to sell you as a specialist, you and Patron, if Patron wishes to join you. It is good pay, Patron. He rubs his fingers together.
I mean, I am fine with joining, but why did you think of me?
Well, Cecilia's around you enough, might as well recruit you for a mission. I had the feeling you were going to be involved either way.
I mean, you're probably right, yeah.
Better to do it this way, where you have porters. Yes?
Wait, I can have quarters?
That too, if you wish, yes.
Tears form in Patron's eyes.
But yes, we will...
Okay.
Just dry-throated. You mean a room with walls and a ceiling?
Is this part of the payment you want? Yes?
It would be very nice, yes.
Can be... He smiles. Can be done. It will, come out of your coin payments, but I feel like you'll be okay with this.
Yes.
We'll deal with that in a moment. Now, Cecilia, as I said, we are currently working on that paperwork. You will be taking this paperwork and handing it to Captain Mayhew himself.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes. He...
Might you, write something in there about increasing patrols around the, Spark and Bells for a little while, if you've already received that information.
We've heard through the grapevine already, yes. I mean, it is not our establishment, but we could definitely spare something that way.
You do business there.
We do.
Would be a shame to lose that option.
You make a good point, young Cecilia. My dear, dear cousin.
And And also, if there are people who are
Third
there
or
when it
fourth,
might
I
make
have a
it
hard
up,
time
though.
with the math at that point.
Third cousin, dear.
You see her counting on her hands.
And also, if there are people there when they try to light it up, having more people there to try and, keep it from getting lit up would be very helpful.
Yes, I wouldn't want the village to catch fire. Again. Right, you're too young to remember that. Anyway,
What?
now,
Flames and memories of Oakville in his eyes.
so, Cecilia, he may require coin payments. And he nods to Peros. Peros hands him a coin pouch. If it isn't obvious, Peros has some investment in this as well. When you look as he does, and there's cultists, people start to talk, in fear and panic.
Well, that's rude.
It is very rude. I don't see why
I'd be
people
much
would
more.
assume that
I'd be
you
much
are-
more likely to assume, the people with like the weird skeletal hands and the dark hoods that cackle like "He do it." Those are the ones I'd look at and be like, that might be a cultist. He just looks like he runs, a nice side business with like clothes or hats or something.
Arlo says, we do have that, yes. But he's right. They do usually jump to the ones that look like demons when demons are involved. You know how people are. A person can be smart, but people are always dumb.
They can't be dumb.
I'll agree with the second point. I'd change the first one to say a person is rarely smart.
Well, no reason for me to be any further involved. He stands up, shakes hands with your cousin, and excuses himself from the room.
Absent-mindedly wave at him with the mage hand. It's like, bye.
You're doing a good job, John.
No one can see the mage hand because it's fucking invisible.
Thanks, Pat. You too.
Just everyone knows Patron.
I mean, probably.
Secretly, he's very famous.
He's the
Well,
town.
like I said, this is the business clan, and information is business.
It's
If
one
word
of the
gets
biggest.
around anywhere, it's this family.
It's one of the biggest businesses in this city.
The actual biggest is alcohol.
So
Probably up there.
I think that's actually a good place to call it this week, and we'll pick up right about there next week.
I boo and throw vegetables at the DM.
That's fair.
What's on his porch?
It's mostly Brandon's fault. We were supposed to start a half hour before we did.
Bullshit.
All right.
He said 7:30 in chat. I was 8 minutes late.
So we are gonna call it there, though.
Precious minutes.
And if you are currently still viewing, which we do have a couple viewers, believe it or not, we've been doing pretty well.
Why?
We've been doing pretty well the last couple streams.
I
We're-
don't understand.
Hang around for a minute because I'm going to end stream. I'm going to change some stuff on the dashboard here real quick, and we'll be right back for post talk. So in a minute, everybody.